Puma Punku is a mind-bending archaeological site in Bolivia with those impossibly precise stone blocks that look like they were cut with lasers. Well, in 2025, the mystery was finally cracked. And guess what? It's not aliens. It's something way weirder, way more human, and honestly, way more terrifying. The real truth behind Puma Punku isn't just about how those stones were carved. It's about why they were carved, and who ordered it to be done. You need to stick with me till the very end of this video, because I'm going to show you the truth. Come along. In early 2025, something remarkable happened. Puma Punku, the mysterious stone complex nestled high in Bolivia's Andes Mountains, finally gave up one of its biggest secrets. For decades, people had scratched their heads wondering how such a complex structure, famous for its impossibly precise stone cuts and megalithic blocks, was built by a civilization that didn't seem to have access to advanced tools or technologies. Some even threw their hands in the air and turned to theories involving aliens. But then, out of the blue, a new team of researchers cracked something open that changed everything. Isn't it funny how history can sit quietly for centuries, until someone looks at it from just the right angle? The whole thing began when Bolivian authorities, prompted by a routine conservation survey in late 2024, stumbled upon something oddly compelling. While digging gently through sediment that had collected over the years, workers unearthed stone fragments that hadn't been seen, let alone studied, in modern times. These pieces weren't just random rubble. They carried curious marks, fine, deliberate lines and grooves that didn't fit with what experts believed ancient carving tools could produce. Naturally, this discovery made waves. What tools could have made such marks? And more importantly, how had these fragments remained hidden for so long? The Bolivian Ministry of Culture realized this wasn't a case for a single department or a couple of university researchers. It was time for a global effort. And so, they greenlit something that had never been allowed before: full-scale scientific testing, including minimally invasive methods like laser scanning, 3D imaging, and microsample analysis. For the first time, the ancient stones of Puma Punku would be examined with 21st-century tools. Why do the stones at Puma Punku fit like a jigsaw puzzle, without modern tools? Well, in 2025, someone finally cracked the code. And no, it's not what the experts thought. Hang on till the end. Now, this is where things get interesting. The 2025 investigation wasn't led by just anyone. It was spearheaded by Dr. Carlos Menendez, a well-known archaeoastronomer from the University of California, Berkeley. Dr. Menendez wasn't new to big historical puzzles. In fact, he had built a career connecting ancient structures with celestial alignments, and he had a knack for seeing what others missed. His team was like a dream lineup of modern science: Dr. Elena Ruiz, a geochemical expert who could identify a stone's origin from a single fleck of dust; Dr. James Wong, a computational archaeologist who built digital reconstructions from data; Professor Ahmed Nasser, a master in ancient construction methods; and Dr. Miguel Cordero, who specialized in indigenous knowledge systems. Now, you might be wondering, why include someone who focused on oral traditions in a high-tech investigation? But here's where the story really shines. You see, one of the biggest shifts in this project was the inclusion of local Aymara elders. These were not just ceremonial figures or token representatives; their insights were central to shaping the research. For decades, indigenous voices had been pushed to the margins of archaeological research. But this time, things were different. Dr. Cordero put it simply: the elders knew things. Things the stones confirmed. Their stories spoke of plant-based adhesives, of aligning stones with seasonal changes, and of community rituals tied directly to construction. Isn't it fascinating how knowledge passed down through spoken word, often dismissed as myth, can align so perfectly with cold, hard data? With permissions secured and minds opened, the team brought in technology that would have seemed like science fiction to the site's original builders. Drone-mounted cameras swept over the landscape, capturing images from multiple angles. High-resolution photogrammetry and LiDAR scanning produced 3D models of every visible stone, down to sub-millimeter accuracy. But it wasn't just about gathering visuals, it was about finding meaning in the patterns. That's where artificial intelligence came in. Using custom-designed machine learning models, Dr. Wong and his team fed in over 12 terabytes of image data to create a digital twin of the site as it might have looked when it was first built. And what did they find? Something astonishing. The AI began picking up patterns, mathematical ratios, alignment points, and symmetry that human eyes had long overlooked. The stones weren't placed randomly or just to look nice. They were arranged with a kind of numerical logic that suggested intentional design on a level previously thought impossible for that time period. Some sections followed the golden ratio. Others reflected astronomical alignments. The deeper the researchers looked, the more they realized these builders had a deep understanding of geometry, engineering, and even hydrology. Yes, hydrology. Because ground-penetrating radar soon uncovered something even more intriguing beneath the surface, a network of channels and foundational supports designed to manage water flow. What could that mean? Was Puma Punku not just a temple or ceremonial ground, but also an engineered space designed to harness or work with water? Was it spiritual, scientific, or both? The discovery of these water systems threw open new debates and showed how much we still have to learn about pre-Columbian South American civilizations. But perhaps the most unexpected twist came from the smallest of discoveries: microscopic analysis of the stone surfaces. Scientists detected organic compounds embedded in the tool marks. That alone might have seemed like a fluke, but repeated samples showed the same thing: evidence of plant-based binding agents. In other words, the builders of Puma Punku may have used natural adhesives to stabilize or join stones. It wasn't cement, and it wasn't alien technology, it was intelligent use of local resources, and it had simply gone unnoticed until now. By the end of the study, Dr. Menendez said something that many researchers nodded along to: this changes how we view ancient engineering across the Americas. He wasn't exaggerating. What had once seemed like a sight that defied explanation was now beginning to make sense, through a blend of science, storytelling, and respectful listening.